Well guys, I'm not sure what people are going to think of this one, but I'm going to talk to you about exhaust. So let's have a look at the Arrow slip-on system I've got here. It only joins on just there, and the rest is the factory exhaust system, the headers and so forth. Now, I do like the noise of this. It is a little bit louder than the standard pipe. It's certainly much lighter, weighs over 3 kilos less than the original big chunky thing that's normally on there. And I really enjoyed this pipe. However, I do think maybe it's a little bit loud. Getting from A to B, those transport sections and the highway, you do constantly hear that exhaust sound, that little bit of noise, and it's sort of, I won't say drone, but it's just barking away at you constantly. So I'm thinking I'd like to make this a little bit quieter. So how do I do that? Well, if I remove the one and only little retaining bolt from under there, I can then slip out the DB killer, but have a look what I've actually done. There's your DB killer. Inside here is a bit of muffler wool. It comes in a sheet, and I've made a wire spiral to go in the middle of that to hold it open, and that slips onto the end of the DB killer like that, and I can insert that down inside the exhaust. And then my idea with that is to try and absorb a little bit of that extra barking noise, and we can just slide that back in like so. I'll put the bolt back in. We'll take it for a ride and see what the difference is. I'm going to take a sound reading with the phone and the dB level right here next to the muffler. This is purely a guide to show the difference in sound levels. So obviously very different to riding along the road. Happy that it's quieter. We're going to go and take it for a test ride now, and what we really need to know is, does that affect performance? I'm thinking yes, but the real question is, by how much? Will it affect it in such a way that it saps a lot of power, or will I notice virtually no difference? Let's go and find out. So you ask, what do I think of my exhaust modification with a little bit of muffler wool inserted on the inside? Actually good. It's definitely not worse. If anything, it makes it a little bit quieter, just slightly takes the bark out of that exhaust note. I really don't see any difference in performance at all. So I'm going to leave that in. I think it's quite good. I don't think it slows it down at all, and if anything, maybe it's a good thing because it gives you just a slight amount of back pressure. So who knows, maybe it's an improvement. I'm not going to try adding any more to it. I'm just going to leave it as is. My muffler silencing technique that I used, a bit of extra muffler wool that I wrapped and put inside the muffler. Look, it did reduce the noise just a little bit, which is good. That's what I wanted. But there is a downside. And what I'm seeing on this ride today is this. Increased fuel consumption, 4.2 litres per 100. And we all know they get in the low threes. Now it's normally around 3.2 litres per 100. And if that's correct, the back pressure caused by putting that in there is now increased my fuel consumption, and not just by a tiny bit, by 1 litre per 100. Now that's way too much. So it looks like that insert's going to be coming out.